At the end of every appointment, you are required to submit a client report form. This is for any kind of appointment that you take. The reason you're expected to submit a client report form is for a couple of reasons. First of all, it documents what has already been done with that student for future consultants to look at. Secondly, whenever we are making our end-of-year reports, it shows us what kind of students we generally see, how much of the student population we see, and who our target audience is. This helps get us funding, as well as helps us keep track of what is needed for future students. So let's take a look at how to submit a client report form. So you've finished up your appointment, and you're ready to submit that client report form. First of all, you're going to open the appointment that you were on. You're going to scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see that it either has a just a view existing, which means that you've probably already submitted a client report form, or it will have an add new and view existing. So you can see old client report forms by selecting view existing, or you can just add a new one, which is for your appointment. So in this, everything that has a red asterisk is required. So you're going to put in what kind of an appointment it was. If this isn't something that's listed in here, if they have a kind of a paper that isn't listed, you can always select other and then just type in what it was. You need to select what this appointment was. Was it just a general review that they wanted to do themselves? Was it an extra credit? Did their instructor offer extra credit for them to come? Was it mandated by their instructors? Some instructors mandate that they come to the Writing Center. This is where you list any specific questions or concerns that they had. For instance, did they want to work on grammar and flow? You put that down. This is your opportunity to put what you did for that day. So if it was a face-to-face appointment, generally you're just going to use one or two sentences that overviews everything you did. So let's say we what we've done here is we've listed everything that we do that day. Okay, so you reviewed the paper for grammatical errors, you addressed punctuation issues, you can even be more specific if you feel like it. You created a thesis statement with them, and then you ended up giving them a handout on introductions. This is also effective for an OWL Live appointment because it acts like a face-to-face appointment. If, however, you did an OWL appointment, it's even more effective to copy what you wrote in the online critique form and then paste that into your comments and your future suggestions. That way you don't have to sit there and remember everything you said. It's a little faster, and as well it gives actually more detail for future people. Okay, so once you're done putting in your comments and your suggestions on what was done that day, you then put in the service codes for what you did. First of all, you have understanding assignment requirements. That means basically that the student didn't understand the assignment, needed help understanding or reading, and you can select that then. Pre-writing, brainstorming, and outlining, that's pretty self-explanatory, as is thesis. Content and ideas is generally if the student needs help deciding what to put into the paper. Organization and structure. Style consists of things like academic tone, passive and active voice. Citations and documentation, mechanics and grammar. ELL is for students who are English language learners. Exam prep is if you're doing something like prepping them for an AccuPlacer. Large-scale revision means that they came in and needed to rewrite the whole paper. Everything was crazy. You're not going to use it as much as the others. Other is if there was something else you did, if there's something that you really, none of these fit the mold. Unreviewable is for when a paper was completely unreviewable because they didn't bring it. That happens sometimes. Generally, though, you can work around it, so you're rarely going to use unreviewable. You can select as many of these as you want. It doesn't have to be just one. Everything that you worked on that day can be included. At the end, you need to make sure and put what kind of appointment it was. Was it a face-to-face in the writing center? Was it a face-to-face at Right Side at Night? Was it an OWL appointment? Was it an OWL Live appointment? Or was it a supplemental instruction appointment? If you wish to email a client report form to the student, only do it at their request. Otherwise, you're just going to confuse them. You don't need to ask them at the end of the appointment if they want one. If a student says, for instance, can I please get a copy of what we did today so I can send it to my instructor, or I would like to know everything we worked on in detail, then you can select email client report form to the client or the student. You don't need to do that on a regular basis. Then you'll hit Save Report, and then you'll be done. If you wish to see other client report forms that the student has, so that you can kind of see what's been done with them, feel free to open up the appointment. If they've had appointments with us, scroll down to the bottom and select View Existing. If you select View Existing, it lets you toggle between all of the client report forms that are listed for them, and it lists them by date. Okay? This will help you in prepping or if you have any questions for them. We do suggest that you submit your client report forms at the end of every appointment for 2 reasons. First of all, so that you remember what happened. And second of all, because the minute you hit submit on that client report form, it emails the student letting them know that they have a survey waiting for them. Don't confuse them by submitting a survey to them a week after their appointment. And that is all you need to know about client report forms. How'd you like that?